right, guys, this is Crazy Kev here, and I'm here with Jessica Ruiz. Jessica, how we doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I can't complain. And Jessica, talk to us a little bit more about what's maybe next for you when it comes to your combat sports career.
Well, I signed with BKFC, so I had a fight with them last year in August, and my contract ends this August. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to be fighting somewhere sometime soon. Hopefully, sometime soon. So I
Nice.
haven't. They did offer me a fight before, but I couldn't take it because my corner was fighting as well, so it didn't work out.
Fair enough. No, that definitely makes sense for sure. Now, when it comes to bare knuckle, how did you kind of get into the promotion, and how do you kind of like fighting for them as well?
They contacted me like a couple years ago, and then I lost that contact. And so ever since then, I was always interested in BKFC. And then when they had like the tryouts in Jacksonville, Florida, I went there. I went there that weekend, and I was selected out of like maybe like 40 or 50 people that were trying out. It was like three of us. Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Now, when it comes to your tryout, what was maybe the tryout kind of like? What did they make you have to go through?
Oh God, it was it was like a whole boot camp thing. Like it was from like 8 o'clock in the morning till like 5 o'clock, and it was a whole series of different types of like workouts, kind of like a boot camp, but also hitting the bag and just doing all types of boxing, just boxing. I'm sorry, I'm hitting a blank right now. Just doing a bunch of boxing, different different things with boxing. Sorry,
No, no, no. Fair
and
enough.
and then after that we had to spar, not with bare knuckle, with gloves, and that's when they picked who they wanted. So yeah.
Very nice, very nice. That's definitely some pretty cool insight, no doubt about it. Now, when it comes to your combat sports career, how long do you kind of see yourself kind of competing for now?
I'm thinking for like another year or two. Yeah, for like another year or two. I have one more fight on the BKFC, which they wanted me for a 5-5 contract, but I did two and negotiated, so it kind of worked out in my favor because I may want to do another two after this contract. So it depends. Maybe I'll do that, or maybe I'll just go back to MMA and do like two more fights. But definitely like within a year or two max. So
Nice.
yeah.
That definitely makes sense for sure.
Yeah.
And when it comes to MMA, talk to us a little bit more about competing for Bellator. How you kind of liked fighting for that promotion.
It was fun competing for them. It was definitely very like exclusive, like everything that they did, from the flights to the hotels to everything. It was nice. It was so organized. They was a really good, they had a really good team. As far as the fight in Bellator, like I always say this, I should have taken that fight because it was in my weight class, and the one prior to that, the first one, I was actually injured when I went to the fight. So both fights I shouldn't have taken, but I did, and but it was a good experience though. I had a good time there, so it was fine.
Yeah, no, that definitely makes sense for sure. Now, when it comes to Bellator, Bellator is like no longer a thing now, I guess, because the PFL bought it out. What do you kind of think about that with like the Bellator being gone now?
Yeah. Um. I mean, it is what it is. Honestly, like I thought it was a pretty good organization. I don't know how it just disappeared like that. How like it just didn't keep going, but it is what it is. I didn't really plan on fighting for Bellator. I kind of went the other route of BKFC. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, no, that definitely makes sense for sure. Now, you mentioned with BKFC, you could consider maybe going into MMA. Would you also maybe consider competing at like a karate combat or something like that?
No, no. I would rather do strictly MMA or BK or boxing.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't do kickboxing. I'm not interested in that. I just would rather do MMA or boxing. Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. So when it comes to kickboxing, like, how come you want to avoid that?
I'm just better at I'm better at cage wrestling. I'm better with my hands. I'm not much. I wouldn't. I'm not much of a. I'm not big on kicking. Let's
Okay.
say. I'm more of an I could El knee, but kicking to me is like I'm just not a kicker like that. No, so I wouldn't go into karate.
Fair enough. That definitely makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no, I hear you. That definitely makes sense. Now, when it comes to training in general, I mean, who are maybe some of the best training partners to make you the best version of you?
Mm. Well, I've always trained with all men, not with women. So I would say, when I was training at Lawman in May, I was training with really like some of the best guys there that were like coming up around my, smaller guys, I would say. But one of my trainers was Eric Heyer there, who trains a lot of people, who trains a lot of people in the UFC. Um, Also, Charlie Campbell did train me as well. He was another one. And I do have one of my coaches now still who also is part of that gym, Donnie. He's he's my corner, and he is one of my training partners and my coach. So I mean, and he's upcoming. He's been like winning all his fights. He's going to the UFC. So yeah.
Very nice. That's definitely pretty cool training partners, no doubt about it. And another thing I was curious about when it comes to your martial arts journey, talk to us a bit more about your first day when it comes to training. What was it like getting on the mats for the first time and that kind of deal?
That was a long time ago. I would say like 9 years ago. Okay. So I have a son, and he was, I don't know how old he was. Maybe he was about maybe like 6, 7 years old, and I'm looking for a martial arts place for him. And I see one, and I go in, and I'm like, oh, I'm just trying to get information for my son. So the owner says, well, there's also like an adult class you should come down to, whatever, and try that. I was like, all right, cool. So I went down, and they had like this whole adult class, and then afterwards they did like a light sparring, and I did really well with the light sparring. And like the coach there was like, oh, well, who trained you? Who did this? And I'm like, no, well, I don't fight. I never got trained. So he's like, well, you could fight. And I was like, well, I've always wanted to fight, but I just never did. Like I had, I had kids and everything, and I just didn't think about that. But and then that's when my first fight after that was like 6 months after that. 6 months after I fought, and I just kept on competing.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's definitely a pretty cool story, no doubt about it. Now, obviously, you're a beast and whatnot when it comes to your training and fighting, but what do you kind of like to do outside the cage when you're not in there training?
Huh. What don't I do? Okay, because I am so, you don't know, my life is so busy, so busy.
Yeah.
So I have 4 kids.
Okay.
Okay,
All
four,
right.
and I work full time.
Jeez.
I train afterwards. I have my kids. My son, he's wrestling now, so he does like this wrestling tournaments, which I have to go to after work. So I mean, I'm always busy. What I do for fun, I don't, I can't, I don't even know if I even have time for that. It's crazy. Like I'm just always busy. Yeah, I mean, it's either I'm training, working, or I'm spending time with my kids. I do spend time with my boyfriend. Um, but we're always training too. I don't know.
Yeah. No.
I do like to go out to eat. I do like to go out to eat here and there. Yeah, I do. I like having dinner, but other than that, I'm not just don't like to do anything else.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. So, when it comes to going out to eat, what's maybe some of your favorite meals you like to have when you're going out to eat?
I definitely like I like sushi. Are you from New York or no?
No, I'm from Philadelphia.
Oh, okay. I was about to say I was gonna like name some restaurants, but forget about it.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I do like I do like sushi. I love Greek food. I'm half Mexican, so I eat Mexican food.
Nice.
uh but yeah, Italian food, just any nice place that has like good champagne or wine, I'm there. So
Nice. There you go. Okay. That sounds like a good time for sure. Now, you just mentioned you're from New York. I mean, what's maybe some of your favorite places you like to check out from New York?
mm, well, I live in Long Island,
Okay.
but I'm not. I grew up in like East New York, like Brooklyn, Queens area. So that's where I grew up. And I definitely still like to go. I like to visit Brooklyn. They have a lot of nice spots there, restaurants. They have it's still it's a cool vibe. Out here in Long Island, I do like to be in the North Shore. Um, I don't have enough. I don't have a lot of time to do much, but yeah.
Nice. Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. That definitely makes sense for sure. And yeah, Brooklyn's definitely nice. I've been to Brooklyn as well too. Another thing I was curious about as well too. When it comes to your training, I mean, what are the vibes kind of like in the gym? I mean, what do you kind of listen to when you're in there training and whatnot?
Mm. I like to listen to music that has a lot of instruments. I'm not big. Yeah, sometimes I do like to listen to like the let's see, like what kind of artists, like Biggie Smalls, stuff that I grew up on. But there are many more. I like to listen to like just all instruments, just very like powerful music, I would say.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. How would you kind of like to be remembered in MMA when you're all said and done and you retire?
That I was tough, that I was a beast. That's what, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a good way to be remembered, no doubt about it. And one thing about me is I'm a Taekwondo instructor. I've been teaching for about 6 years now, and I have a bunch of guys in my gym. What advice do you give to those guys to keep on coming into the gym and to get better and better every class?
You just got to stay consistent no matter what, no matter what's going on in your life. I know that sometimes we need time off or a day off or whatever, and we have to we have to take it. But as long as we're consistent, as long as we're consistent, just keep coming, just keep coming, just keep coming, and just do not give up. Just don't give up. I mean, I've been doing this for years, and let me tell you, I've been so many times. I would come out the gym and I would leave the gym and I would cry in my car and I would be like, oh my God, like I just got jabbed so many times. Why? And this, that, and the third. And it was just like, I just never lost like hope. Like I would just always keep working and keep working and keep working. And I was the smallest, and girl. I was the only female there too. So it was hard. So I would just say to, just stay consistent. That's it. You'll get it.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that's a great message, no doubt about it. And with your combat sports career, I mean, you've obviously competed in a lot of different bouts, but I mean, what's one was maybe one of your favorite ones you maybe had?
Uh, favorite I've actually had. It's hard. I think I like BKFC.
Okay,
Yeah, I like BKFC.
BKFC. No, that's definitely a
Yeah.
good choice, no doubt
And
about it.
but I think it's the hardest one too.
BKFC.
Yeah, bare knuckle, no joke.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely
And
agree.
a small ring like that, forget about it.
No, I
It's
definitely.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. So you mentioned you were obviously training for MMA, and then you went over to bare knuckle. I mean, how did your training kind of switch when you kind of transitioned?
Switched so much. Well, before when I was doing MMA, I was doing a lot of like wrestling and jiu-jitsu as well. And when I started doing just boxing, the training was completely different. Everything was completely different. The strength and conditioning was different. Um, yeah, I mean, you just have to, everything just changes. You no longer, you're just using your fists and like so repetitively that you have to, like, your endurance just goes up. And it's just so different. Sport specific, it's just very, very, very different. And it's really hard. It's
Right.
hard because I would say like an MMA, like if you just, if you want to use your hands, you do. But if your hands get tired, you can always do a 1-2 and kick with your, leg. And, so you kind of have that thing where you can switch, all the time, or you could hold on and wrestle, when you could take a deep breath. When it comes to boxing, there's no way to really run. You have to keep using movement. You have to keep your stamina has to be up here. And it's just a whole different training, because you will get hit. You
Yeah.
will get hit. They're not just gonna hold on to you and you take a, you're gonna get hit. And they hit hard. They hit hard. So it's different.
Yeah. No, it definitely seems different, no doubt about
Mhm.
it. You mentioned with bare knuckle obviously being tougher. Do you also believe like damage wise, like MMA or I'm sorry, bare knuckle is maybe worse than MMA as well?
Well, when it comes to cuts, yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like ligaments and stuff, like, no, I mean, you don't have to worry about that. No.
Right.
You know, you don't have to be worried about, you know, getting like an I had an ACL tear during training when I was doing MMA. So I mean, you don't have to worry about that in boxing, you know.
Right.
But it's definitely way bloody. It's so bloody, BKFC. You definitely do get cut. I didn't get cut, thank God. I didn't get cut. And the girl I fought was heavy handed and everything. I didn't get cut, but she did. And yeah, I mean, most likely, you know, you're gonna get cut.
Oh yeah. No,
You're gonna
you
have a lot of
definitely.
cut. Yeah.
No, you definitely can. No doubt about it. Bare knuckles definitely no joke. And
Yeah.
Jessica, it's been awesome having you on the show. I definitely appreciate you coming on. What's maybe your
Yeah.
final message out there for your fans watching this video?
Well, I know I'm gonna I'm gonna fight soon.
Nice.
In the next 3 months, hopefully. So stay tuned because it's a whole different Jessica coming out. I've been training boxing now this whole time. I've been progressing. It's been going very well for me, and I just cannot wait to get back in there and show everybody just like how great I know I am. So stay tuned and yeah, follow me on my Instagram, which is La Reina Just Ishtar, I believe, or I don't even know what my Instagram is at this point. I just changed it. But yeah, just be on the lookout.
Yeah, no, we'll definitely be on the lookout. We're looking forward to that upcoming fight. And yeah, thank you so much for coming on. Before I let you go, do you mind if we get a quick picture from the Instagram? So
Sure.
all right, let's do it. All right, tell me when you're ready.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Good stuff. All right, thank you so much for coming on, taking the time. It means a lot to me, and I'm looking forward to what's next for you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Bye.